Alrighty. Sorry for the delay, everybody. Yours truly had a few technical difficulties. But we are here and we are set to go. And I forgot one thing. Stand by. Always something. Alright, see if this is actually charging it. It's okay, good. Okay, there we go. Here, there we go. Okay, let's see. Come on, come on. For me? Uh, why is everything just not working on the side here? We were at this domain. Oh, we were down in here. Twilight domain. We have all those. All the old ones that it's my own personal one. We have so it's travel domain that we're next. So let's get the thing from the peace domain here. Let's just get yes. Let's go to travel, paste this. Okay. Okay. You're gonna cooperate with me. I've been having small little issues all morning. Go travel domain. Okay, let's see here. So domain built around movements. So that's long strider, jump. Oh, that's right. You I don't know. Jump. Locate object. Dock. Yeah. Sending. Mention. Dimension door. Locate creature. And telepathic. Bond. Okay. So I had 3 features on this guy original class with the classes today. Well, 4 technically. Which was you get co-level person and double your person. You don't get that anymore because that's a level 1. We had Pilgrim's Blessing. Which is a very, like, budget Lehman's Tiny Hut. And then Silver Tongue, which is traveling around the world rescue. Episode 20 to 10 minutes. You have advantage on the next persuasion or intimidation check on them. Then you hit. You can play out. We're gonna just kind of get rid of the Silver Tongue aspect and really lean in on the Pilgrims. So Pilgrim's Blessing. Channeling for 10 minutes. That produces no. Oh, okay. A 20-foot and a 20-foot emanation. And a 20-foot issue. Creatures that are then 60 feet away from this aura. Well, in this aura, are have the goal and cannot be heard. By creatures that are more 60 feet away from the orc. Wildlife that is not actively hostile. Wildlife is not good. Beasts that are not actively hostile. You give a wide berth. Give a wide berth. Berth, never find it. They're fighting you while the aura is up. hours has passed. Or until another one. All right. 3 of the travel order. As a magic action, do here. As magic action, you present your holy symbol to expend the use of your channel divinity. And expend the use of divinity. Self and a number features equal to or wisdom. Took longer to eat that than I thought it would. My goodness. Morning. Good morning, Holly. Oh my goodness. Excuse me. My goodness. I hope you're doing well today. Okay. Number of creatures. 5 feet of you. Yeah. I wasn't talking particularly loud, but I can absolutely fix that. Let's see here. That should help a bit. Actually, I'll do this. I'll keep this as it was. Then, where is it? Anyway. Filter. Put a little bit of extra end game. Yeah, that should help. Ooh, get back to a good time. Hopefully that helps it a bit. It's hard for me to monitor it while I'm checking other things. I'm also looking off to the side while I'm talking at the moment. My microphone's like down here, or down over here. I'm talking this way at the moment, just trying to look at my screen. For a secondary monitor. Oh. Okay. Let's see here. Not really? Let's see. It's not showing that it should be difficult at all. Like the volume is looking fine. That's weird. Now, I'll just bring the microphone a little closer. That'll probably fix most of this. There we go. Let's see here. Where was I? The number of creatures within 5 feet of you. Within 5 feet. Within 5 feet equal to your wisdom modifier. There we go. And not the other one. That is possible. Stand by. It is. How's that? Oh gosh. I don't know why it did that. That is weird. Yeah, I was picking up my microphone that was in my camera for some reason. Well, that explains a lot of things. Alright. Much better. Okay, let's see here. Well, I can actually move this away from me slightly more to make it a little bit more comfortable then, so I'm not talking right directly into your ears.
First thing I should have done is actually just put it to the monitor so I could hear what the hell was going on. I probably would have noticed that was a different microphone, truth be told. Alrighty, now that that's solved, how are you today? Aside from slightly deaf from the sudden influx of my voice. Oops, wrong button. All right. Equal to your number of creatures equal to your wisdom modifier. It's 11 a.m. and I feel a bit groggy because of a migraine. Oof. That's a shame. For a creature, this group, you can teleport up to I have it as 120 feet originally, but because you have more uses of it, I think I'm going to go 60. We'll go 90 feet, up to 90 feet. Up to 90 feet, and there must be a sufficient space you can teleport up to 90 feet to a location that you can see. And there must be enough space for all the traveling creatures. 14 creatures. There. You get 2 group teleports a day, for the most part. And then later on it becomes 3, and then towards the end it becomes 4. Being able to teleport what is effectively your entire party is really good. Which is why Pilgrim's Wrestling is kind of meh. This lets you bypass a lot of things. It has to be within a distance you can see. It is better than Misty Step. It's way better than Misty Step. But it's your channel divinity. So. Let's see here. Thresh. Hold. Eyes. This is saved as an image file in my old stuff because I used OneNote back in the day, so I can't copy and paste this, otherwise I would. As a magic action, on a wall, door, window, or some other like surface. And see through it. As though it was not there. So long it's not there. Maintain. You can continue. Continue to look through. So long as you hands on the surface up to 10 minutes. Up to 10 minutes. This feature fails if you attempt to look through 1 foot of wood or stone. One foot of wood or stone. Oh, it's 1 foot of wood. 6 inches of stone. Or any amount of lead. Equal to your wisdom modifier. Equal to your wisdom modifier. Regain all use. Oops. This is after you complete a long rest. Finish. Oh my goodness. There we go. All right. And then 17th level, I had Expanded Rift. Anytime you use Channel Divinity, so this would be Step of the Traveler. Anytime you use Step of the Traveler, or cast a spell, that would allow yeah. You to teleport. You can increase bring with you by 3. Should actually be creatures, not people, creatures. By 3. Even if you normally would normally couldn't. All other conditions need to still be met. Need to still be met. As creatures being within 5 feet of you. There we go. So there's the Traveler path, Traveler domain. You get Dimension Door, Far Step. You don't get Misty Step as a spell. I felt that giving them Misty Step would be not overkill, but unnecessary because you have Step of the Traveler. So you're probably just going to be using that as opposed to Misty Step. Although Misty Step is a bonus action. So it's hard to say for sure. If I were to swap one of these out, I'd probably swap out Locate Object for it. But Locate Object and Locate Creature are kind of just good for this pair. Like a good pair to put for this. And I kind of want to keep Knock because Knock is one of my own all-time personal favorite spells. And Knock also just makes sense. Add Publish Flag. Alright, so there's the Travel Domain. Water Domain. Not sure why it does that. It always cuts off the last little bit of the last line inside the table whenever I copy it like that. Okay, I'm gonna grab some coffee. Stand by. I think I actually have an ad about to come up anyways. It didn't just. Oh, yeah, it's already gone. Coffee. Okay. Okay. All right. I now feel a little bit better because I have coffee in my veins. Put that there so I can see what's going on. And then we go. That's fine. And then we go to this so I can actually see what I'm doing again. All right. Diamato and is coffee is good. Agreed. Coffee is a thing that, if necessary to take in, I will shoot through my veins. Okay, so for this we had create destroy. Come on. Learn how to spell. Water. Purify water and drink, or purify food and purify food and drink. Mirror. It's 5:30. I'm debating on driving into the city for their homebrewed coffee. I mean, I personally really like barista coffee. I lived literally on the floor above a barista, like a local barista, when I went to college. And I went there every day. It was great. I woke up every day to the smell of bacon, of roasting coffee and bacon. It do be addicting. What it really is it just tastes like actual fucking coffee. It just tastes like coffee. It doesn't taste like garbage. And lesser restoration, which is a much better spell now that it costs a bonus action. It's my time to act social too, so there is that. Yeah, I feel that. Okay, we have water breathing. And tidal wave. And then we have control water. And watery sphere. Maelstrom. I once lived above a bakery. It was torture. I woke up hungry and had no money to taste fresh bread, which sends driving me near insane. Oh, but I Oh, excuse me. I make my own bread. Like, I just have a bread maker. Ever since bread got like to $4 a loaf, I started making my own bread because it costs $5 to get a jar of yeast, and it takes like it's so simple to make your own bread. Oh, excuse me. I bartended at never once I fall downstairs, but every night I would fall going up back to my apartment. Well, yeah, because now you're tired. Or hammered, one of the two. Only so you understand, bread is where I live. In Germany, our national specialty. Ah, fair enough. I live in Canada, in a specific city where immigration and homelessness is a common thing. All right, let's see here. So originally, this gave a bonus cantrip, which was Ray of Frost or Shape Water. And then I'm gonna close this. Oh, come on. And then what did I get once I give it level 1? Gives you a swim speed. Oh, you can give a creature a swim speed equal to your land speed. Creature affects the previous one. You also give proficiency in athletics and double your proficiency when you're making a check. Wow, this was bad before. Okay. We need to come up with something new for that. We're just gonna leave that empty for now. That was, gosh, that was atrocious before. I don't know what I was thinking when I made that. This does not give you anywhere near the amount of stuff it needs to. It gives you a... So what exactly are you creating? So what I'm doing is I'm taking some cleric domains at the moment that I made. This one I made years ago. That are just... They cover domains that don't really exist in 5th edition. So like, for example... So the two things I was doing for a while was the domains that are not converted to 2024. I just went ahead and like made some conversions to 2024 for them. Obviously, if they create official releases for them, then I'll just render these obsolete. But the problem is that with the pace that Wizards of the Coast releases stuff, we might see one more domain in like 6 months. So, you know, they take their sweet time. And then I have some of my own domains that I've made that I made in the past. So I'm converting them over to 5.5, making any adjustments that I feel are necessary and whatnot. And right now we're working on the water domain. I made these originally in OneNote. So when I copied it and posted it in the Discord, it created an image rather than text. So I can't just copy paste it. I have to type it back out again. Because I have since lost my OneNote to the thralls of the internet. So, yeah. Plain and simple. What was the channel divinity? Channel divinity, you can check the channel call forth from the plane of water. As an action, you can summon a tiny water spirit from the plane of water, attach itself to a creature you touch. Touch creature heals half your cleric level rounded down. Hit points at the end of their turn. If the protected creature drops to 0 hit points at the end of their turn, the spirit heals triple your life cleric level and then leaves. Spirit remains for 1 minute or until you dismiss it as a bonus action. Go7 Gamer, hello. Greetings and salutations. And then we had echolocation at 6. I think I may have to change what I did at 3 for the channel divinity as well. You gain... Oh, okay. Echolocation. DM Otto, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate it. Greetings and salutations. I hope you stick around for a while. What am I working on? I am working on a homebrew domain that I made for 5.0 years ago, and I'm converting it over to 5.5. I am also fixing it because God is it awful. I made it originally because one of the guys at the table was like, hey, can I get like a water domain for my cleric? And I said, yeah, sure, I'll make it. I'm off for that coffee. See you next time. Cheers, bud. Till then. Let's see here. You have blind sight out to 60 feet. On land, and 120 feet in the water. Actually, while underwater. Come on, there we go. Your blind sight does not function while you are deafened. Cool, I'm taking a break. I'm building a full adventure module with new class, subclasses, a new region, and a few campaigns that can be run in with a full world as well. That is a daunting task. That is a daunting task. I have not made a module for other people's consumption before. Also, I appreciate that you call it module, because that's the old school for words of framing. I appreciate that. Most people call them campaign books or adventure books. So I appreciate that. But yeah, I started making an adventure module myself at one point, and I'm just kind of sitting there as I was saying, like, God, this is a lot of work. Because I have to type down so many things that come naturally intuitive to me, that I'm like, oh, I should put this in so that it's here if people need it. It's just like, that's a lot. Yeah, this old ability is like a form change, which is unusual for clerics, that they don't normally get this. Yeah, I should just take this idea and I need to like reformat my thinking for this. I'm going to change this from echolocation to amphibious. Maybe that's how you spell it? Close. Oh, it's amphibious, not amphibious. Okay. You can also breathe underwater there. It's my second one, but my first kind of crashed and burned, but that's part of learning, so you know where you fucked up first. Yeah, like that's the thing is I learned very early on in my 13 years of running games that the first time you try to do something, it's not gonna work. Because you're going to do all the wrong things that you don't know are wrong things. The best way to make a good anything is to make a second version of it. Okay, so the body of water thing was just like it literally just makes you liquid. Gave you a bunch of like resistances and immunities to conditions. It gives you vulnerability to cold damage. That's one of the things I'm kind of hoping to do, is I'm kind of hoping that as I run my next set of games, I'll be able to kind of convert them into proper modules as I kind of just take a bunch of notes, because Obsidian has helped with my note-taking a lot. Looking back, I was a writer before D&D, so the lore was very complex, but I had no idea how to make all the lore fit into the work into the game. I am currently working on a script on how to write a write a module for your table, like how to write a story for your game. Like, that's something I'm working on in the background, and I'm hoping to have that video I'm hoping to have that video done sometime, maybe. I'm not entirely certain when I'm going to record it, but I'll find a time somewhere to do it. As it stands, the video is expected to be somewhere in the ballpark of like 20 minutes long, which is not short. Because I wanted to include, pretty much everything. Not everything, but pretty much everything. At least on a fundamental level. Okay, so improved now, but geez, those first couple of Homebrew worlds were rough. Oh yeah, those first couple of like, I feel very happy because of the people that I've met online that I've run games for. Because I've ran games for them. 1, 2, 3 of them, of the 12-ish people I've run, 12 to 14 games I've run for people that I've never played before. 3 of them have decided that they want to run games themselves. And the biggest piece of advice I told them, they're like, I don't feel like I'm going to be able to do this. I said, oh, no. you're right, you can't. Because none of us can when we first try. None of us can. We just accept that we're just gonna fail, slam our face into the pavement as we try to run, and then we get back up and keep running. The biggest thing that makes this the big thing that makes us comfortable with it is that at the end of the day, we're running and playing a game with our friends. And because it's our friends, and they know that this is your first time running, they're gonna let you mess up. They're not gonna be mad at you for it. Like, obviously, if you do something like terribly heinous or just awful to them, yeah, they'll be mad. But if you're concerned about whether or not you're gonna make them unhappy or hurt, or whether or not they're gonna have a good time, you're not gonna do as bad as you think you're gonna do. Or maybe you will and you'll all laugh about it. Who knows? The hard part is taking the plunge. Doing it is actually easy after that. Okay. One with the flow. While you and it's great to see. This is something that I remember telling someone, because who was it? Oh, was it Nano, or was it Sam? I can't remember. Somebody asked me why I like running games for new players so much. And I said, "Oh, that's easy. Because it's the same thing that happens when you watch children interact with the world." Like, I'm a parent, and it's the same thing as watching children interact in the world around you, because it's fantastic, because children look at things, and to them it's all magic. It's all magic again. They make the world fun again. And it's the same thing with new players. New players see the world as something different, because when you're, been going at it for 10 plus years, you start to see things differently, because time does that. New players turn the game back into magic, and it's amazing. Especially if you get someone who's a button pusher. Oh, buddy. Those games are absolutely a blast. I see a button, I press the button. Those are the best new players, because they just want to know what they can do. And when you in fact get to tell them you can do whatever you want, they test you. They test you, and it's super rewarding. I love DMing for new players. I'm 11 years into D&D and 9 years as a DM, and now DMing for new players is so rewarding because it reminds me of the first one. That's exactly it, right? Like, I've been DMing for 13 years, and I've been running these games playing for how long? How old am I? 19-ish years? Oh, maybe I've been DMing longer than that then. It was 3 years. So, yeah, I've been DMing for nearly 16 years then. Holy. I haven't played D&D in 10 years. Jeez. Bruh. Would you like to play D&D again? Yes and no. Okay. Elaborate. If you would like, you can elaborate. I should say. One with the flow. I've learned to love the game but hate the players. I'm confused by this statement, but okay. I imagine bad experience with players in general. Do you know the meme of that guy? Not exactly. I think a bit older than me, though. I'm 23, enjoyed a D&D club at going on stuff. So you grew up in an era where D&D was cool. I'm just say it. You grew up in an era where D&D was allowed to be cool. I turned 34 yesterday. I started when I was 15 in high school. 10th grade is when I got introduced to me, and I said this is the great, and I said to one of my buddies whom is actually my best friend now that I think about it. Haven't spoken to him in about a year. He introduced it to me, and I said this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. Because I've always been like an imagination nut. Okay, let me look up this nonsense. Also, thank you very much for the follow there, Killer7Gamer. Appreciate it. All right, there we go. There are players that ruin the game for everyone at the table. That guy. Now put 5 of that guy at one table. And that's my D&D group as first-time DM. Oh. I get it. Like, see if I understand correctly. Players that, like, see the game as their fun is allowed... They're allowed to have fun at the expense of other people. Which, to be fair, sometimes that is going to happen. But intentional or not. Yeah, no. No. I don't let that fly. It wasn't cool when I started, but a couple years in, it became cool. Yeah. It became cool when everybody realized, oh, wait, all these actors are actually like to play D&D, which to me is like, oh, shocker to no one. Actors like to do acting stuff. Yeah. Suddenly, because these people that are very popular are doing this, suddenly it's allowed to be cool. Yes. Nerd culture became cool around a decade ago. It was accepted like 15 years ago, but it became cool. It became cool 10 years ago. Which kind of pissed me off, because I'm like, damn it, I'm an adult. Why couldn't it have been cool 20 years ago when I was a teenager? What the hell was I typing? Oh. Equal to your move. Equal to your movement. Other creatures can provide a swim speed. Oh, okay, here we go. Okay. To put it into detail, the former DM who forced me to DM, a guy with a personal vendetta against me in game, a min-maxer who teaches the murder hobo how to create killing machines and a real life chronic stupid. Okay, that was my first group. Jeez. Yeah, no. Can I just say something? Like, I have heard so many horror stories about people's different tables and stuff like that. But I'm gonna be real. I've never encountered, like, more than 2, maybe 3 of these people. And I've DM'd for, like, probably close to 60 different people over the years. Like, it's wild to me, the horror stories that I hear from people. And maybe it's because I'm a little bit more disagreeable, and that I actively look to shut that shit down, because it drives me crazy, and I won't tolerate it most of the time. Like, having, like, bro, that's rough. That is rough. I got a wait list for my table first time 4 years ago. Yeah, no kidding. That's awesome. Speed to another creature. You gain swim speed equal to your speed. You can provide a swim speed. No, we're not going to give you the athletics. So, you can provide a swim speed to another creature. To another creature. Both of you both you and the creature that and after 2 years of that group, for the love of the game, stopped at some point, and even my patience is done with bullshit. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm also surprised, like, sticking it out for 2 years is something else in my mind. Like, that's crazy. Like, I understand, like, not wanting to walk away for, like, whatever reason. Like, a multitude of different reasons. I understand those. That's wild. My whole time DMing in one wasn't really a horror story, just someone who wanted to be the main character, but kept cutting people off, interrupting conversations. She wasn't a part of, etc. But the other guy, just really creepy, and the whole table believes he was a pred, just from the way he acted. Jeez. New sending stone. Who this? This is yours truly, CRE. Welcome. I am speaking directly into your ear holes because you have a specifically weird device on your head, probably. And for some reason, I can see your name. I understand how these new forms of sending stones work. That's why. Because if you had one of the old versions, you would not be picking up this frequency. On athletics Athletic checks. Long as you have the swim speed. Athletic checks in the water. So long as you have the swim speed. When you give this benefit to okay, can't spell benefit apparently. By a minute to use the sending stones. You had to pay by yeah, it was very rough. When you gave this benefit to another creature, the previous one loses this benefit. Previous one ends. It's not proper wording, but it's fine. And if I had the luck to be a player, I was forced to play a class through social pressure, and the William didn't even allow me to choose my own spells. I want to become only more than a fireball dispenser. Jeez, bud. No. If you want to play a game again, all right, there is like, I want to say 5 or 6 of us that run games. Not all of us are looking to run new games right now. And I think none of us are, actually. Like, there is going to be someone that'd be more than happy to have you on. And I know these people. They're great. No, I understand your distrust. I absolutely get it. If you ever want to get back into it, you will find some kinder people. Guy played a 13-year-old girl human and was going around flirting with NPCs players when he was 28, so just gave off a bad vibes like he was giving his fantasies in the game. Yeah. That's weird. One moment. Okay. Wife's alarm was going off. Okay, Channel Divinity. I think I'm gonna keep the Spirit of Water idea that I had before. I might have to change the numbers around. Uh, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, definitely bad eggs, but some kind of, it's mostly new people I know. That's what D&D is, just about finding the right table for you. Yeah, like like I said, I've run for over 60 people, like probably somewhere in the ballpark of 60 people over the years. And most of them are just, they're just people. Like, not all of them are dicks. And yeah, there's an odd guy that's just a dick, but I mean, that's part of the risk with meeting new people. But I talked to somewhere around, like, I'm running for 8 people right now. They're all a blast. Or 2 groups of 4, I should say. There's another, like, 7 people that I ran for recently that are all great. Like, yeah, there's a lot of great people that play this game. Like, it's unfortunate that you got so many rough people right away. One thing I will say, generally speaking, the older you get, the less likely you are to run into problems. Like, the older the people are that you run for, generally the less problems you run into. And I say this as an individual who started when he was a teenager. They were all furries by their own definition. Now I'm biased. You know what? Fair enough. Furries are a weird breed of people. Like, I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna just say it. Furries are a weird breed of people. Their personalities are interesting, to say the least. Let's see here. Use your handle divinity to summon a tiny, proper term, tiny. Yeah, but like I said, if you ever want an opportunity to play again, just give me or somebody else on the Discord. Although we'll see how long that Discord server lasts. With the current nonsense going on there. Well, whenever I figure out what I'm gonna do community wise, reach out to people. Like, you can probably find a table. There's probably a table that you can find if you ever want to get back into it. If you ever want to try again. You summon a tiny water spirit. A tiny spirit. From the plane of water. From the plane of water onto another creature with a touch. Because their person was all... Yeah, exactly. That is a common thing that I've heard from a lot of people. That when I've asked if they wanted to play again, and a lot of them say no for the same reason. I said, do you... And my response to that has usually been, because these are people that I know, my response to that is usually, do you trust me? And they're like, yeah. I said, okay. Don't worry about it then. I'll deal with them. And usually that goes well. And a lot of times, especially, again, as I've gotten older, like, after I turned 25, and a lot of the people that I ran and played games with also turned 25, a lot of the problems either just kind of went away, or they were benign. So, for example, some people, when they, they're constantly cutting other people off and they're doing this and doing that, it's a behavior that they've learned for, 20 something years, and they're not intentionally doing it. It's just a behavior that they do on reflex, right? Because you spend because if you're 25 and you have a bad behavior, you've been doing this behavior for 20 years. It's kind of hard to break that behavior. Even even if you're being intentional, you're still going to default onto it. It's the same thing with speaking, right? Like, I'm actively trying to speak a certain way so that, one, it hurts my voice less, and two, so that it comes out clean, clear, and intentional with the way I want it to sound. It's not something that I'm constantly doing. It's constantly shifting in and out because I'm trying to change the way I've been speaking for 30 plus years. Let's see here. Let's see here. Feels the attached to for... Do I want to go... I think I did it originally as cleric level, but I think I'm just going to do wisdom modifier. Yeah. The other thing also is expectations, right? Like, that's a big... Like, there's a lot of stuff about... If you do a lot of searching on D&D on YouTube, like, a lot of the stuff that comes up first is about the social aspect of the game, right? Like, most of the stuff that comes up first is the social aspects. Like, oh, run a session 0, talk to your players, communicate the backstory, tell them what you're doing, let them tell you what they're doing. Like, a lot of that is what's the first pile of stuff that comes up. Because I think that's the first... And I think the reason for that is because most of the people that this game attracts is people that are not social by nature, right? Most of us are not social creatures. We're nerds. We love novels. We love video games. We love stuff that are inherently less social. So we're not as keyed in on the social aspect of it necessarily. A lot of us are, anyways. The OG audience for it. Now it's pop culture and it's a little bit different, but before I quit games before session 1, if there isn't a session 0, yeah, like, you need to have a discussion about whom is going to be who's at the table, what people are looking to play, why they're, like, maybe they'll share their backstory, maybe they won't. But you also need to know, like, what sort of adventure the party is going on. Because odds are you're not playing to level 15 or whatever. Most of the time when I run games, most people don't have, years of time. They have like 6 months. And because they have 6 months, that means that we got enough time to run a game for like level 1 to 5. 1 to 6. It's like, okay, what story are we playing that's level 1 to 6? And I always have more story ideas. I always have an endless plethora of ideas, so it's easy for me to do that. It's just, we need to know. Everybody needs to be on, even if everybody's in a different corner of the page, everybody needs to be on the same page. The spirit. It's normally go 2 to 10 or 11. Yeah, like every table's different. Like I got a buddy, one of the guys I run for. He runs games. All of his games in the 10 years he's been running, every one of his games that is not still going has gone to level 18, has gone to level 17 plus. And I looked at him and I looked at my screen and I said, dude, you are an anomaly because nobody does that. Basically, a group of players that found each other after they were thrown out of their groups. Yeah. Bunch of problem players collectively found each other and created a group. I actually ran a game for a group one time that all they did was argue. All they did was argue. It was weird. But they kept coming back and they kept saying, like, yeah, we're having a good time. It's just like, it was wild to me. But so I just chalked it up to, they just use this game as a means to get all of their frustrations out, right? Like, you know, like how some people go to the gym and just work up a giant sweat to get all their frustrations out. They just did this to get all their baggage, all their frustrations out in a way that, you know, was fun. I guess so. Like they did it, they argued in character. They didn't argue as players, they argued in character all the time. They just always played argumentative characters. But they were fine people. It was weird. Like, it didn't matter what it was. Like, the characters would just argue. But they were always making progress. And they loved it. I asked them all one time, I halfway through at one point, I'm like, you guys are just always arguing. Are you guys okay with this? They said, yeah. Okay. Like, if the entire table's down for it, then the entire table's down for it. I'm not going to complain. I just thought it was strange. Equal to... For an amount equal to your wisdom modifier, the start of each of their turn. Come on. I ran one high-level campaign, but started them at level 11 and ran to 20 because that was the group who played 3 campaigns scare and ended them all at 11, so they wanted to experience high-level D&D. Yeah, like I've played 3.5 back in the day, and we played an epic level game where we started at level 20 because you can go up to level 30 in 3.5. And so you could get epic level feats, you could multi-class, we had some, and the GM said, go nuts with your builds. And we just kind of all looked at each other and said, okay. We had a blast. It was crazy. It wasn't meant to be balanced. It wasn't meant to be serious. It was meant to just be like, let's just find some dumb, weird, crazy shit for you to fight. It was so much fun. It was so much fun because it was just meant to be unhinged. It was just meant to be crazy. I think we ended up doing, like, we played a bunch of, I think the story of it was we played a bunch of people that were defiant to the gods. Like, they just hated the gods, and our entire shtick was we found a sponsor, got really powerful, and went and tried to kill as many gods as we could. I believe is what the story was. It's been so long. It was something like that. And we fought all kinds of dumb stuff, and the GM came up with amazing ideas for the deities when we fought them. It was crazy. Each of their turns. This spirit lasts for a Do I want to make it a variable number of rounds? I don't think so. For 4 rounds. For 4 turn the spirit once the spirit heals 4 times, it 4 times it vanishes. You get 4 times your wisdom modifier total towards healing. It's technically a form of fast healing because it heals at the start of the creature's turn. It's just a magical effect that goes away. Maybe 3 times is better. 3 times is better. Basically, you just apply fast healing, your wisdom modifier. So fast healing wisdom modifier for 3 turns. If a creature would fall, if the creature has 0 hit points at the start of their turn, the spirit heals for all the remaining amount, and then vanishes. There was a fun BBEG in the game that was played, so he was 1,000 years old and stuck in his ways, so only used 2nd edition spells. And I love that concept. Yeah. Using D&D oriented spells because they're from a time when that was how the magic was, is a really cool concept. I've heard of other people doing that. I personally have never done that, but that's a really cool concept. Let's see here. Okay, body of water. It's already after 6:30. I have been having a lot of fun chatting and not getting a lot of work done. Yay! It happened again. Okay. Yeah, I can push it a little further. I don't have to worry about making coffee. I just have to make make myself some eggs, and that's it. Okay, we need to figure out something for 17th level for the water. I still like the body of water idea, but elementalize. Elementalize. Not a real word. Not a real word. Oh, hold on. So it'd be this. Yeah, elementalize. Pane of water. Fancy name. Doesn't have to be a real world. Exactly. It has to be understandable, though. Fluidic. Has become fluidic. Allowing you I'm actually going to change this. The power of water alters the space you occupy, allowing you and anything you're carrying to become fluidic. Become fluidic. You can push through yourself through spaces as small as 1 inch. As small as 1 inch. As 1 inch. How do I phrase this? You can also take the hide action in any body of water, so long in any body of water, that covers at least a 5-foot area on the ground. So yes, this does include puddles. You gain stance to bludgeoning damage. Bludgeoning damage. Can't make it everything because otherwise it'd just be way better than the War Priest, although the War Priest works differently. Let's actually change this to... No. Resistance to fire damage. Your resistance to fire damage. An immunity to grappled, restrained, conditions. Let's see here. My old version of this gave you a form that you could turn into, but that's not useful for clerics. They have too many things that is already competing for their actions. 1 inch, but cannot end your turn there. If you do, are pushed out to the closest available space and take 1d I believe it's 1d10, 1d8 force damage for every 5 feet you travel. For every 5 feet you traveled. You can also take the hide action in any body of water that covers at least a 5-foot area on the ground. You gain resistance to fire damage and immunity to the grappled and restrained conditions. This is fine. This is fine. This feels like a capstone. It's like power-wise, it's not crazy. Power-wise, like this is what you get power-wise. Right? Like this is the power-wise thing here. The rest of this is just most of this is like ribbon features when it comes to like power, but these are useful and cool, and it goes with the idea that you are becoming water. You are becoming the plane. Like you are becoming water. Because we have an element for fire, which is through light, and we have an element for air, or lightning, which is through the Tempest domain. We don't have one for water, and we don't have one for earth. So I might make a Terra domain. Which would be cool as hell, because I love earth-based stuff. Earth-based stuff is neat. Okay, I have gone past my time, because normally I go until about, the things. So, yeah, thank you everybody for swinging by. Really glad that you did. Hope that you had a good time. Holiepa, however you say it. Words are difficult. Names are impossible for me. Apologies. But thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate it. Thank you for all of you for swinging by and sticking around, those of you that did. And I hope to see you all. Boy? Okay. Boy is enough. Fair enough. But yeah, thank you very much for everything. And I will probably be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday. I don't think I have anything that's happening tomorrow, unless I get called in. I get called in every once in a while for work, really early. And yeah, thank you everybody for doing so. And until next time, guys, have a good day. That is the wrong window. That is not OBS. Where's the buttons? There's the buttons.